What normal, everyday thing that people do or say gets under your skin? That's just the way I am. Grow up. Or worse, when they say I'm a BCHer, admitting that does not excuse you or make you less of one. Again, grow up. Grinds my gears even more when people say that's just the way it is. No, that's the way you accepted it to be. But it does not have to stay that way. Be better, and work on correcting the problem. Edit. Wording. OMG, I have crackhead energy. No you don't. Your sense of humor is just screaming at random times and thinking it's funny. Crackhead energy is the new version of So Random XD, except it's somehow even more annoying because it's not exclusive to preteens. Crackhead energy is just a new excuse to be loud, annoying and obnoxious. I've never heard this term before and I hate it. The terms girl boss or mompreneur. No, you're part of a pyramid scheme. Also honorary mentions to big girl boy job and any variation of mama bear. You're a mama bear, huh? So you doubled your body weight in October, then went to sleep and gave birth sometime in December, then woke up in March and started scavenging rotting salmon from the riverbanks? Mompreneur. OMG, the cringe. I get bothered by the sound of other people eating, mostly the chewing part, when it's otherwise silent in the room and that's the only noise. I hate it. Same. Also with the obnoxious loud gulping sound some kids make when they are drinking. It makes me cringe. My dad either gulps or swishes his drink in his mouth and hearing both makes me gag and angry. Reading this comment raised my blood pressure. Sorry, I have no filter, no sweetheart. You just want an excuse to say whatever you want. I'm looking at you, mother. I like our president because he has no filter. No, mom. He's just in a conversation with my mother that happens a lot. I hate this too. And it makes you look like a prude, etc. If it's something you didn't want to hear, or if it's inappropriate for the situation company. As the saying goes, brutally honest people tend to enjoy the former part far more than the latter. That's what a guilty person would say. BCH. WTF do you think an innocent person would say? You say this. PLZ don't. It makes no sense. Reminds me of the cases where people said sorry after getting into a car accident and the other person tried to use that as an admission of guilt. Saying sorry does not mean it's my fault. Along the same line as you're just making excuses, all that really means is I don't care what your explanation is. On a similar vein, behindging someone is guilty because they try to run. Pretty sure the natural reaction to being wrongly punished is to get away, is it not? So what do you think you're going to do for work when you're out of school? Oh my god. I'm struggling with this every day and you're making me freak out, and now I have to save face and come up with something cool and probably end up lying to you just to change the subject. I'm never mad at the person. It's an honest question. Just the sudden spotlight on me I can't handle, haha. I never really thought about this until I read an article saying millennials and younger folk generally hate being asked what they do for work. Though I'm a millennial, I love my job and can never wait to talk about it. It's like being a vegan CrossFitter for me. So I never thought anyone would be offended. I asked my best friend if he thought there was anything to the article and he said absolutely. He hated being asked what he was going to do after college and now hates being asked what he does. He finds it extremely obnoxious. Since then I've stopped asking altogether and let it come up naturally in conversation if at all. I think it's good people no longer feel the need to identify with their jobs. This is so interesting. I am a millennial and I hate it when people ask me what I do for work. I have a really good job that pays well and is often sought after, so older folk are generally impressed when I tell them. I absolutely hate it though. I don't like talking about work when I am not at work, and I don't like the idea of identifying with my job. I am a lot more than I was do professionally. We've sat at this light for 5 goddamn minutes. How are you not ready to go on green? Yes, and the quick lights that are in your area, especially some left turn arrows. You know only like 6 cars get through before it turns yellow. But the front guy decides his phone is more important, so only like 3 get through. Hate that so much. Had one woman totally miss the green light until it turned red. We beeped our horns, but by the time she realized the light was green, It was too late. Green light came back up and she was going to miss that one too if we didn't all start blaring our horns a few seconds later. I have a friend that does this. I refuse to drive with her. I constantly says your ucking Facebook worth more than my life. She's gotten in dozens of accidents. It ucking horrendous. People making excuses for their shitty behavior and expecting every to just accept their shitty behavior. That's just how I am, and hi, I'm James and I'm an so get used to it. It's even worse when they attribute their nature to their horoscope. Sorry I just stabbed you, but what can you do? I'm a Gemini. Oh, I generally don't like a S. Bye. Starting to say something in a conversation just for someone else to cut you off and then you not being able to get in what you wanted to say before the topic changes. Then at the end of the night you're pretty quiet. You don't talk too much, do you? No, I do. I just don't interrupt people. Oh god, that's me. Totally ruins the tiniest effort I'm making to engage in a conversation. People adding apostrophes to words that are plural words. Egg. Taxis. I swear every cafe in England sells paninis. No offense, but I'm not racist. But racist statement. I'm not racist, but what the yuck is up with ravioli? Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people, wheeze. When they second guess even the most simple yes or no answer. Example, me, T, them, T, hey is there any pasta sauce in the pantry? After searching the pantry for 5 minutes. No, it looks like we ran out. T, are you sure? Yes. T, are you sure? Yes. T, stops what they are doing. I'm going to take a look. Returns from looking. It looks like we ran out. LOL. What? Internal screaming. This is why that happens. Me. Can you get X from the pantry? Husband. I looked. We're out of X. Me. You sure? Husband. Yep. Me. Finds X in about 2 seconds flat. Husband. Oh. I was about to say, this kind of exchange happens with my wife and me all the time, except she ends up finding what I insisted wasn't there. I sometimes do this to PPL, but they have let me down in the past usually, and sometimes it's not about them. Sometimes it's cause I am not feeling 100% that day and I need to check for my own peace of mind. Also, a second pair of fresh eyes on something can be super useful. I could care less instead of I couldn't care less. Where I am from it's pronounced and care less. I notice it's very common in Americans. Blessed. I am blessed. We're blessed. Blessed written in cursive on a piece of wood somewhere. All of it. The more they say it, the more it looks like they're trying to convince themselves of it. Nah, it's a humbler brag. Look how great my life is, but this is okay to point out because Jesus. I really want one of those cursive wood blessed signs but with possessed instead. Walking super slow down the middle of a grocery aisle. GRRRRRR. To add on, any path that anybody is walking slow down. It isn't even hard to change. Just move to the side. Stairs. Footpath. Anything. The other day I was in a bad mood and had to go to the grocery store. I was deep in thought, hating everything, when this lady stopped in the middle of a main aisle. Not like a numbered aisle, but the main aisle to get to those. She was looking at a display but was blocking all traffic for at least 20 seconds. Out of nowhere I say move. I thought it was in my head but I said it out loud. She looked at me horrified, which I expressed the same look to her and to the other 3 or 4 people around us. I put my head down and mumbled sorry before flying out of there. Man, everyone loses their temper from time to time. At least you said sorry. Then again, she was being inconsiderate by blocking everyone else. Mock or condescend someone for trying to do their job. On a bad day during dinner rush, a customer loudly called me a fucking idiot and I was so shocked I just walked away for a minute to cry until he left. The people behind him were shocked. The whole dining room heard him. For some reason my coworkers were surprised because they thought I'd be the type to have a good comeback or throw his food at him. Oh boy, I had issues with keeping my mouth shut when people would be rude to me. I remember working at a Tim Hortons one time and some guy came through when we were having a rush. I shit you not. It was literally just me working the whole drive-thru and my other co-worker working the whole front counter. So you could imagine the lineup. The rest of the staff decided it was a good time for break. So this guy comes to the window and immediately says, "You people need to get your fucking shit together in here, this is way too long," in a way to try to intimidate me. Well, my anger issues didn't like that. Cue me yelling directly in this guy's face to switch spots with me. When he told me to fuck off, my 16-year-old behind starting yelling at this grown behind adult to come back here at 10 PM cause that's when I'm off and we can square off in the parking lot. He looked terrified, and holy yuck did he ever drive away fast. Good times in the service industry. I once had a customer condescendingly ask to speak to my husband because I wouldn't give his wife information she wasn't authorized to have and he had to get on the phone to authorize her. Amaba needs wine, or any variation. It's so tacky. But it makes covering your alcoholism sound so cute. I was getting sober and went into a self-imposed stay-at-home lockdown to avoid temptation or whatever. I went to the store to grab something, peruse the clearance aisle, and all the items were something like it's wine o'clock or it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it made me sad to realize how normalized drinking alcohol is nowadays. It makes sobriety that much harder when I'm just trying to get my target on, and something betraying like cute screams "Drink you alcoholic, it's cool." Heavy drinking was in fact much more normalized in the past. Think of how people didn't bat an eye at heavy sustained drinking while pregnant, and look up how much alcohol people drank in average in the 18th century, and think of how in the past there were zero laws requiring drinkers to be a certain age. We're doing pretty well, except for the mommy juice shit. That's annihilatingly annoying. Signed, a fellow alcoholic, and awesome job being sober. You rule. I also don't like it when people don't have respect for children. They just got to this world and they are treated like they don't have opinions about things. They are also told that they should respect people who are older. Most cases children don't know what respect really is, and they think it's about just doing what they are told. Planning to be a teacher, and I plan to respect the children. Show them what respect is.